us to have a legislative framework that will put this agency on the role of government interventions when it comes to budget, which of course will be much more formalized. But I'm coming from possibly the other end, the other side of it. I have no problem with the bill. It also requires the consideration or an agency of government has been by the leverage of the government in existence for whatever reason.
Alex.
And you now have a need to legitimize it by way of legislation. That bill should have come as an executive bill. That is the procedure, that is the tradition, and I want to put on record that when next we have a bill of this nature, you have an agency already in existence. Such agencies should go through their mother ministries and come up with a bill that will be sponsored on the floor of the House as an executive bill. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, this is my take. But I don't think at this stage we need to revert the procedure. We can go ahead. I can agree with you and with the saying that the end justifies the means. But for the records, Mr. Speaker, and perhaps the clerk and the Chairman House Committee on Rules and Business, when we have a bill of this nature where there is an existing organization or an institution of government already in existence by the fiat of the executive, then when you come to the parliament to formalize it, then it has to be an executive bill and should be taken by the office of the leader of the House of Representatives. Thank you, and God bless you.
Speaker.
Mrs. I think for the sake of unity, religious harmony, which is what we've been talking about in this country, can we get one of our Christian brothers to support this bill? Abu Buba. Honorable Buba and Honorable Bagos, I hope you are speaking in support. Let's not divide this country, please. Please. Honorable Buba. No, it's Honorable Buba that is recognized. Okay. He's looking for a working mic.
Mr. Speaker, you have working mics with working members. Bagos is not a working member. So you can only have a working mic with a working member. So when Bagos does not have a working mic, it means he's not a working member.
Mr. Speaker, I'm Yusuf Buba Yakuba. I represent Gombe Home Federal Constituency from Adamawa State. I rise to support the motion as moved by the mover of the motion.
The bill, yeah. He's not seconding, but he's supporting, and that's his contribution. Honorable Buba is a Christian from Adamawa State. Any other contribution? We'll put the question. There is no room for comments in our rules. What you have is contribution to debate, not comments. This is not Twitter. Those in support, please say aye. Those against it, say nay. Ayes have it. You are too used to Twitter. That's why you're talking about comments. Clerk, I think you're supposed to read the long title. Long title of the last bill.
Okay. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to provide for establishment of National Board for Arabic and Islamic Studies to have responsibilities for conduct and regulations of examinations and its due administration and for related matters. Second reading.
Thank you. Bill referred to the Committee on Services. The fourth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the National Commission for Nomadic Education Act, CAP N20, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to redefine the concept of nomadic education to cover all categories of nomads, including migrant fishermen and itinerant farmers, pastoralists, and other persons or groups of persons that frequently move from one place to the other in the country, and to redefine the learning methods to include modern emerging learning approaches and the use of relevant teaching aids amongst nomads in tandem with modern realities and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Priye Influence Goodluck Oseke. And members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 24th November 2021. And I invite Honorable Priye to move that the bill be now read a second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Priye Oseke. I represent Southern Ijaw Federal Constituency. I'm from Bayelsa State. I move that a bill for an act to amend the National Commission for Nomadic Education Act, CAP 20, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to redefine the concept of nomadic education to cover all categories of nomads, including migrant fishermen and itinerant farmers, pastoralists, and other persons or group of persons that frequently move from one place to the other in the country, and to redefine the learning methods to include modern emerging learning approaches and the use of relevant teaching aids amongst nomads in tandem with modern realities for related matters. House Bill 1734 for second reading. I so move.
Honorable Shella.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I remain Honorable Dr. Haruna Michelia. I stand to second the motion ably moved by my colleague from Honorable Priye Oseke that this bill, be read the second time. Also, second, please.
Okay, it's a straightforward amendment bill on nomadic education. So I'll put the question. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Clerk, long title.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend the National Commission for Nomadic Education Act, CAP N20, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to define the concept of nomadic education to cover all categories of nomads, including migrant fishermen, itinerant farmers, pastoralists, and other persons or groups of persons that frequently move from one place to the other in the country, and to redefine the learning methods to include modern emerging learning approaches and the use of relevant teaching aids among nomads in tandem with modern realities and for related matters. Second reading.
One House members.
The bill is referred to the Committee on Basic Education. Fifth order of the day is the motion on call to rehabilitate the Nigerian Police Force and the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps stations in Darazo, Ganjua, Federal Constituency of Bauchi State, standing in the name of Honorable Manusoro. Manusoro is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. My name is Representative Mansour Manu Soro. I represent the good people of Darazo Ganjua Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Bauchi State. I rise this afternoon to read the
Honorable Isaka. Honorable Isiaka, please sit down.
I rise this afternoon to move a motion on the need for the rehabilitation of the Nigerian police force and the Nigerian security and civil defense corps stations in Daras Uganjua Federal Constituency. The House notes that the primary purpose of government is the protection of lives and property of its citizens. The House also notes that Daras Uganjua Federal Constituency, located in the northeast, is faced with the challenge of inadequate stations and police accommodation for the police and civil defense officers. The House is worried about the lack of commitment by the Nigerian police force to rehabilitate the Soro Divisional Police Station destroyed by the Boko Haram insurgents in 2013. The House is also worried that the project for the construction of Sadi Police Station in Daras local government area was abandoned by the federal government in 2017. The House is concerned about the non-conducive environment in which the Nigerian police and the Nigerian police force and the Nigerian security and civil defense corps operate in Darazo town. The House is cognizant that the security agents can only operate effectively in conducive office accommodation and stations. The House resolves as follows. 1. To urge the Nigerian Police Trust Fund to rehabilitate and punish the Soro Divisional Police Station destroyed by the Boko Haram insurgents in 2013. Number 2, the House urged the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps and the Ministry of Interior to embark on the total rehabilitation of the existing station of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps located in Darazo town. The House further urged the Northeast Development Commission to, by their mandate of stabilizing the Northeast sub-region, expand the existing operational infrastructure of the Nigerian Police Force and the Nigerian Civil and the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps.
Honorable Samuel and others, please. Honorable Samuel.
The House mandate the Committee
Honorable Samuel.
Police Affairs and the Northeast Development Commission to interface with the affected agencies of government and to report back within 8 weeks for further legislative action. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, this is an infrastructure motion. I'll just get a second there, and then we'll put the amendment. You have an amendment to the infrastructure bill? The motion, okay. Honorable Aisha Duku.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I am Honorable Aisha Jibril Duku, Imbiar Duku, member representing Duku for the Federal Constituency. I come from Gombe State. I rise to second the motion ably moved by my neighbor, Honorable Mansour, both in the House and in constituency, Duku for the borders, Soro Ganjua. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Gombe Bauchi. Those in support amendment? Are we fine?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Ifeanyi Moma, Ihiala Federal Constituency. I must first of all commend Honorable Manu Soro for this motion. Indeed, it's an infrastructure motion, Mr. Speaker, but if you look at the subject matter, I think it's something that affects virtually all of us here. So I want to move an amendment in prayer 1, also urge the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps and Ministry of Interior to embark on total rehabilitation of existing stations of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps and police station located in Ihiala Federal Constituency, because my constituency has been bedeviled by such things. So there's a need for such rehabilitation. And Mr. Speaker, I might further interest you to know that this is something that does not only affect Ihiala, it affects Anambra and the entire Southeast. So I just want to move an amendment for my for Ihiala.
So you want to attach your constituency to Honorable Soro's motion?
What is good for the goose is good for the gander, Mr. Speaker.
I thought you were even going to say across the country. I thought you were going to say general.
I wanted to do that, but I was
So
very
is there any
careful.
member that wants to attach his own constituency?
I wanted to do that, Mr. Speaker, but I was watching your body language, so I don't say something that would kill the amendment. So I can re-amend the amendment. I can re-amend the amendment.
All police stations did rehabilitation.
Exactly.
But I also don't want us to dilute Honorable Manu Soro's motion. He has put in a lot of work into this. It's constituency specific. Although I know also that all police stations are affected.
Exactly.
So subject to Honorable Soro's approval, so that we don't dilute. Honorable Soro, are you magnanimous enough for us to amend this to include all police stations, not just your own constituency?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Across the country.
Honorable Ifai is a friend of mine. I think I will oblige to his request.
So we give credit to Honorable Manu for
That
bringing
of his
this.
own alone. That of his own alone, Mr. Speaker.
Huh?
So that of his own constituency alone. So that we should do.
Only his own,
Yes, sir.
not anybody else.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so somebody else can on another day bring a general motion for police stations. But note also that will require budgetary input. That will require budgetary input. Maybe they will still have small money to do Honorable Soro's own and Honorable Ifeanyi's own. But if it's the whole country, it will require budget input. So we'll stick to Honorable Ifeanyi's motion. Gombe too? But you said you are neighbors now, so once we fix his own, any in phases, any seconder to Honorable Ifeanyi's motion, Honorable Kabir.
What do you mean by federal constituency?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Kabir Idris, member representing very good people of Kura, Madobi, Garumal, and Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Kano State, and I rise to support this very important amendment based on your clarification and observation. I show support that we should include Honorable Ifeanyi constituency to be part of the motion raised by Honorable Monsu Soro. I so support, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. The ayes have it. I hope it's not to do with constituency. No, otherwise everybody will be affected. Bring a motion tomorrow or next week regarding your constituency. But the problem, like I told you, that motion will go to nothing because the money has to be in the budget for next year. Bring a motion, or chairman police, if he's here, or pass the message on to him that during the next budget exercise in September, October, they should include the rehabilitation of police stations across the country. It's as simple as that. Yeah. The sixth order of the day, those in support of the motion as amended, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Order of the day is a motion on the need to provide infrastructural facilities to secure the forward operational base, headquarters of 2nd Division Garrison at Ayete in Ibarakwa North Local Government Area of Oyo State, standing in the name of Honorable Muraino Ajibola. Honorable Ajibola is invited to move the motion.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, our Right Honorable Speaker, my honorable colleagues. I am Honorable Dr. Ajibola Muraina. I represent Ibarakwa Central Barapa North Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I'm from Oyo State. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I have a motion on the need to provide infrastructural facilities to secure the forward operational base, FOBs, headquarters of 2nd Division Garrison at Ayete in the Barapa North local government area of Oyo State. And with the kind permission of the House, I move. The House notes that Nigeria is currently faced with an unprecedented wave of security challenges ranging from insurgency, banditry, kidnappings, communal clashes, insurrection, and other violent crimes that have affected most parts of the country. The House also notes that the crimes have caused wanton destruction of lives and properties, interruption in socio-economic activities, thus has rendered several people internally displaced. The House is aware that the forward operational base headquarters of 2nd Division Garrison at Ayete, the Barapa North local government area of Oyo State, was established to curb the recurring criminal clashes, communal clashes, kidnapping activities, armed robbery attacks, and senseless murder of citizens coupled with court activities and general insecurity. The House is also aware that the establishment of the FOBs was a preventive and proactive measure aimed at apprehending perpetrators of these heinous crimes, as well as creating a roadmap for peace between warring communities. The House observes that the FOBs have discharged their mandates very well, thus resulting in the reduction of violent crimes in the areas. The House is concerned that despite the sensitive assignment, the FOBs are saddled with troops operating under deplorable conditions due to neglect by the Nigerian Army. The House is concerned that the absence of perimeter fencing around the facilities and lack of other fighter infrastructure, such as electricity to his operations, exposes the officers and equipment to vulnerable attacks. The House is worried that the current state of FOBs, particularly that of Haiti, is a security risk to the Army personnel and the communities where they are assigned, considering the unfortunate incidents of attack on the soldiers in the middle of 2021 in Haiti by unidentified gunmen. The House resolves, 1, to urge the Nigerian Army and other relevant institutions to, as a matter of urgency, rehabilitate the forward operational base headquarters of 2nd Division Garrison at Ayete, the Barapa North local government area of Oyo State, and provide the necessary infrastructure to secure the formation, to motivate the troops, enhance their capacity, welfare, and forestall attacks. 2, mandate the Committee on the Army to ensure compliance and report back to the House within 4 weeks of further legislative action. Right Honorable Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I move in terms of my motion papers. I beg to move, sir.
Okay, okay, Honorable Shatima.
Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable colleagues, I remain Lawan Shatima Ali, representing Bursari, Gaidami, Nusari Federal Constituency. I'm from Yobe State, sir. I rise to second the motion ably moved by Doctor. I so second. Thank you, sir.
Another infrastructure motion, I believe that was, so we'll put the question after being seconded by Honorable Shetima. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, say nay. Ayes have it. Seventh order of the day is a motion on urgent need to replace the stolen manhole covers on Federal Capital Territory roads, standing in the name of Honorable Musa Mohammed Pali. Honorable Pali is invited to move the motion. Honorable Pali, please, when you finish your motion, please approach the chair.
Okay,
when you
sir.
finish. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, my respected colleague. Musa Mohammed Pali is my name, member representing Al-Qadiri Kirfi. I'm from Bauchi State. Mr. Speaker, I stand to move motion for urgent need to replace stolen manhole cover of Federal Capital Territory roads. The House note that the manhole is an open use as an access point for an underground public utility, allowing inspection, maintenance, and system upgrades. And also note that the manhole of maintenance hole usually has a removable cover for the opening, which is large enough for a person to pass through. Concern that manhole cover in Federal Capital Territory are being stolen by unpatriotic individual, leaving the manhole open and passing a grave danger to unsuspected motorized and pedestrian. Worry that many people have sustained permanent injury as a result of falling into open manhole, while many vehicle tires have been damaged as a result of running over the manhole. Disturb that the activities of scavengers and other unpatriotic individuals is respectable for the theft of manhole cover that are not secure or locked. Resolve to urge the Federal Capital Territory to immediately cover all open manhole in the federal territory to prevent further endangerment for person and properties. Also urge the Nigerian police force to provide surveillance security at all time against theft of manhole cover. Mandated the Committee on the Federal Capital Territory to ensure compliance and report back within 6 weeks for further legislative action. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Sayers. Sagios.
Okay. Honorable Mega. No, he's left. No. Don't worry. Let's go to Honorable Idem.
Distinguished colleagues, my name is Idem Unyime, member representing Ukanafun, Orogonam Federal Constituency of Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion as moved by my colleague. I so second. Thank you.
Another infrastructure motion to the question. Those in favor, please say aye. Amendment.
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Sayos is now in APC.
But he's not coming back to the House. He didn't even contest. But you are welcome anyway. Honorable Ganyu, the birthday boy. Yeah, what's your amendment?
Yes, sir.
Honorable Ganyu is the one that has an amendment.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Abdul Ghani Johnson. I represent the good people of Oshodi Solo, Federal Constituency 2. I'm from Lagos. The amendment is on the manhole cover. Now, in prayer 1, where it said, urge the Federal Capital Territory to immediately cover all the open manholes with locks. That with locks is very key. With locks, we should insert with locks, because if they are not locked, the issue is that they will go back and remove, and we are back to square one. So they will break the lock, but it will take them. But with locks. Thank you, sir.
Any Honorable JJ? No, that's another amendment. Okay. Honorable Rotimi, can you second that, please?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Comrade Rotimi.
My name is Rotimi Agunsoye, representing Koshope Federal Constituency of Lagos.
Comrade.
Mr. Speaker, dear colleagues, I rise to support the motion as moved by my brother, friend, Honorable Johnson.
Thank you.
I so second.
Those in favor of that amendment, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable J.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My name is Jim Ibrahim Olajide. I represent Lagos Mainland, Federal Constituency, Lagos State. Mr. Speaker, my amendment has to do with the security operatives, because in the motion itself, item 2, where we also have urged the Nigeria Police Force to provide surveillance security at all times against theft of manhole covers. I want to suggest, and I want to amend with the permission of Mr. Speaker, that Nigeria Civil Defense Corps are part of the system, and they are saddled with the responsibility of providing adequate security to protect all our infrastructures in Nigeria. And I want to suggest that they should support the Nigeria Police in doing that, so that the security operating will be in place. Thank you, sir.
So they should do it in conjunction with the civil defense.
Exactly, sir.
Honorable Francis Charles, you want to second that, please?
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, my name is Francis Charles Oyo. I represent Kora versus Barani Nistinopulu. I'm from Akwa Ibom State. I rise to second the motion for amendment as moved by my brother. So second.
Those in support of that amendment, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Has an amendment. IT man, please check out these microphones against next week. Many of them are not working. Members are having to move around to look for working mics.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Ibrahim Ayokunle Isiaka, for Iwekoro Federal Constituency. I'm from Ogun State, Mr. Speaker. I was rushing to Engineer Johnson because so that we mind the way we construct this. I still want to further amend prayer 1, Mr. Speaker. Evidence on ground shows that nearly all the drains with these manholes we are dealing with, they are totally blocked, Mr. Speaker. And the first thing they need to do is to desil the entire drains before we even talk about we even talk about...
Please, can you tell Honorable Gagdi to take a seat?
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, sir, it's still on the prayer one. Before we talk about covering the manholes, the entire drains are totally blocked as we speak. So I want to further amend and read prayer one to say that urge the Federal Capital Territory to immediately deseal, that is, all the debris, what have settled in the drains, to remove them. That's the meaning of this seal. All the drains and replace or cover the, sorry, okay, FCDA to immediately deseal and cover all open manholes with YOP, in line with Honorable Johnson's amendment, in the territory to prevent further endangerment to persons and properties. That is my amendment, sir. We need
To add the drainages?
Yes, to deseal the drains.
Okay.
Before even covering...
Any seconder? Honorable Kabir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues. Once again, I'm Honorable Kabir Idris, member representing Kura, Madobi, Garumal, and Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I'm from Kano State, and I rise to second this very important amendment raised by Honorable. I so support Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in favor of this amendment, please say aye. Those against, say nay. Ayes have it. Those in favor of the motion as amended, please say aye. Those against, say nay. Ayes have it. The eighth order of the day is a motion on the need to secure the release of the kidnapped Abuja, Kaduna train passengers and other Nigerians held captive in the country. Standing in the names of Honorable Bamidele Salam and 11 others, and 11 other honorable members. Honorable Salam is invited to move the motion. Honorable Salam.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Bamidele Salam. I represent the fantastic people of Ede North, Ede South, Egbedore, Jigbo Federal Constituency of Osun State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move a motion on the need to secure the release of the kidnapped Abuja, Kaduna train passengers and other Nigerians held in captivity. Like you said, Mr. Speaker, I'm moving this motion in my name and in the name of 10 other members of this Honorable House, whose names are stated on the order paper. The House notes that Section 14.2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, states that the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. Section 17.2b of the same Constitution further states that the sanctity of the human person shall be recognized and human dignity maintained and enhanced. Also note that in the last 10 years, terrorism, banditry, kidnappings, and other forms of violent crimes have become a security epidemic in different parts of the country. Alarmed that according to the International Center for Investigative Reporting, which reported that since 2018, there has been a rapid increase in kidnappings from 987 victims in 2018 to 1,395 in 2019. Also alarmed that the figure of kidnapped persons increased to 2,865 in 2020 and 5,287 in 2021. Worried that over 70% of the kidnapped victims are mostly children, women, and elderly persons who were violently attacked and captured by criminals in the course of discharging their daily activities on the farms, villages, roads, worship centers, and other places. Alarmed that a number of the kidnapped persons have remained in captivity for years, months, and days